We're here.
Can you hear it?
That's wild. The delay. Do you know the delay changes every episode?
Why? What's the delay right now?
On the YouTube, for me right now, it's only 20 seconds, and last week it was 35 seconds.
Right now it is about 50. Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dipshits Podcast. I am Mike. That is Ryan. We are your dipshits of the evening.
What's up, dipshits? Welcome back again. Another Wednesday night. It's 9:30, and we're about to get into some dipshittery again.
We're actually on TikTok again. Yay!
Yay! We'll be nice the first maybe 10 seconds.
Let's not curse in the very beginning here. Let's not,
I'll try not to curse. I'm going to end up stuttering a lot because of it.
I'm sure some curses are perfectly fine, but, who knows? And to be safe, let's not use the words fuck, shit, cunt, or any of those words.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
You forgot to hit the beep. The beep, man. The beep.
We don't beep. Hold on. I'll type beep in the chat.
Beep.
There's the beep.
Beep. What's up, mother beepers?
So you named the episode.
That's because of that new legislation, the psychedelics.
Yeah. Ibogaine didn't kill Michael Jackson, right? That wasn't what killed him?
No, propofol.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it wasn't Ibogaine. So I was like, okay, that's not the connection there. But I did see, let's see. Oh, I had the video somewhere. Where'd it go? Hold on.
Yeah, but Ibogaine is that stuff that they were like using on heroin addicts that like stop their cravings.
It's so funny though that you named the episode what you did, because prior
The
to
new
that.
Michael Jackson movie also is coming out, so this is also a tribute to that as well. When I try to come up with these names, like I've tried to think of like how could I mash two things that are relevant
Well,
together
what I was
and
going to say,
clever.
which was quite funny, is that the other day,
Hmm.
a guy at work who's a recovering drug addict was talking
Yeah.
about the benefits of Ibogaine,
Hmm.
and then you sent me the updated episode name, and I was like, "Huh, that's an interesting one."
Yeah. I know it's cool if I get the
Just
instant
fix it.
LOL. Like, so I'm like, all right, it's approved.
Come on, there we go. See, YouTube has a good setup when I make it for us to look like it's a
Yeah,
perfect. It's in the
of
middle,
course.
and then I don't know if you could see the portrait what size as well. How it makes perfect sense. It's all
Yeah, the ratio's there. The ratio's
and
on point.
like
But listen, YouTube knows what they're doing, man. YouTube knows what they're doing. That's why we're on you. That's why we've been on YouTube. That's why we started on YouTube. They've been around the longest. You
TikTok
figure,
is pretty good too. It's Instagram videos that are hard to show correctly because I got to figure out a way. There's got to be a way to code it
yeah.
on your browser so the chat doesn't show up.
Well, Meta's got to figure that out
Comments.
because Reels is on Instagram and Facebook, and they
Yeah.
just got to figure that whole model out.
Well, here's our first video, and we'll watch it and then we'll react.
Yes. Let's see what happened this week on the news.
Why is there no volume?
Dramatically.
What did you? What the volume
Volume.
was on? It was on. I swear. Let's try again.
Pleased to announce historic reforms to dramatically accelerate access to new medical research and treatments based on psychedelic drugs. In many cases, these experimental treatments have shown life-changing potential for those suffering from severe mental illness and depression.
There's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of Ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it.
Pleased to announce historic reforms.
So we know Joe Rogan has been talking about Ibogaine treatment for
Few
a
years.
long time.
Yeah.
What did strike me by surprise is that he has been kind of critical of Trump lately.
As a bunch of people have, but
Yeah,
he's also had people who were critical of
Yes.
him. He had Mamdani, who's probably the most prevalent one. You know,
He was on the podcast.
no, Mamdani was in the Oval Office. Like
okay.
Trump
I
will
thought
have,
he was-
yeah,
Yes, but I was gonna say a lot of people are like, oh well, this is like making Joe look like an idiot because he's very critical of Trump now, and all of a sudden he's going on blah blah blah, and it's like, guys, he saw an opportunity to help veterans and other people suffering from PTSD and addiction by legalizing or starting to do research on Ibogaine. It's not a bad thing. It's a step in the right direction.
yeah. But I don't think he's gonna stop talking shit though.
I mean, it's his job to talk shit.
Yeah,
basically, right?
yeah, pretty
It's
much.
his job to talk.
And listen, you're gonna call a spade, right? You know, honestly, like, you know, if Trump is fucking up in some respects, you gotta say it. And that a lot of MAGA motherfuckers are jumping ship because of it, or now they're former MAGA. You know, I think I sent you a few videos about that too, but or maybe I didn't. I'm not sure, but I definitely did want to bring it up that now and I'm not going to say it started with Tim Dillon. However, Tim Dillon's been like super hypercritical since
As he should be. I mean,
Yeah.
he kind of always has, though. I don't think he was like ever a big supporter. He liked some of the things they were doing and what they were saying, but
I think it's more of the left's narrative thinking that he was a supporter because,
yes,
like when the campaign was going on, he said how bad could it be? But the thing is, it's like how bad could it be? It could be pretty fucking bad.
And here's the problem: people fail to realize people fail to realize is that the people who voted for Trump didn't vote for what Trump is doing right now because this is the opposite of
Right.
what many of us thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for him, and I mean I didn't vote for anybody. I don't
Same.
typically vote for presidential elections because I don't like any of them, and I don't believe in voting for the lesser of two evils because you're still voting for evil.
Yeah.
I
I think it's more important to vote in your local you're hyper local first. Like people really don't show up for like their city
I would,
council or county council.
yeah,
People don't show up
yeah.
for those things. Yeah.
People, yeah, it's more people need to show up to that, but I don't vote on that either. I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Anarchy, Mike. Anarchy. No, I'm kidding.
It's not even that. I think.
No, I'm kidding.
I like Joe Rogan's idea and letting AI take over the whole
Oh God, no! Please, no.
thing.
That's just inviting the Terminator into your home, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the checks and it'll all add up at the end versus what's happening now, theoretically.
Well, they like you see. I don't know if I sent this to you either. Damn it, Mike! It's all slipping my mind.
Yeah, we didn't really send a lot of things to each other this week. I was very busy at work. I didn't have a chance, and I like every time I saw a video, I meant to send it, and I never did. And then sometimes you could click away and you lose it forever.
Yeah, I know. I hate that, dude. You should be able to scroll back to whatever you
Well,
sat on for longer than 2 seconds.
on Facebook, you can go to your Reels search history or view history and find it. Unfortunately, it was not on Facebook. On Instagram, I don't think you can do it. On YouTube, you can do it.
Nah,
TikTok, I don't know.
Instagram lost forever. TikTok lost forever. Unless by chance I remember some like one of the names in the person's like one of like at least part of their name.
Yeah.
Then it'll autofill, which is cool because I have found like, oh wow, I just scrolled past this. Let me go look back at it and like, damn, like I shut the app off, it's gone. But wait, this person was, I don't know, dumpster something or like,
so
Marvel freak or whatever, and it's like, oh, I remember that. So if I type that in, then I'll get their whole.
You sent me you sent me this, and this made me go.
I thought it was awesome.
What? What? There's no sound. What? Are they singing?
Yeah.
No, that guy in the middle is dedicated to my role, bro. He's been there. He's like. What'd you say?
They're all committed to it. I think what they need to do is just watch out that they don't end up on that missing list too.
Wow. The missing list.
A lot of scientists are going missing or have gone missing since 22, right? So now the count is at like 11 or 12, and it's starting to get concerning. I mean, I'm a little freaked out by it. Thank God I didn't become a scientist. You know what I mean? Because comic books would have definitely influenced me to become like a Reed Richards or a Bruce Banner, but instead, I went the Wolverine route and just blue collared it.
Just so you know, you're peaking a little bit on your mic.
Am I?
Oh, yeah,
I'm not that close.
See, I tried to lower. See if I could manually lower it, but I just lowered the volume of you in my ear, but not in the video.
I'll do 2 fists.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool.
So scientists going missing. I think I have a video about that. Well, I have multiple videos about that. Let's see.
I definitely want to be part of the next Stephen Hawking parade, though.
Yeah, me too. I'm down. It looks fun.
Yeah. Could you rent one of those?
I think so.
Like rolly chairs?
I don't see why not. Here's the next video. And I do apologize because it's Instagram, so it's cutting off half the video on the portrait side of things.
But let's just can we preface this that she's now number 11 of the 12?
Yes. And what this, I'm sorry, but there's certain times where things become a pattern, and when you have 11, 12, maybe more, because they didn't notice the pattern until recently.
Yeah, there could be more.
Scientists that have died under weird circumstances, whether it be suicide
or gone missing. Like, some of them aren't even found. There's 8 of them that they don't know where they are.
This is an old story, but the guy allegedly crashed into a tree at full speed, but he was also driving an electric car. So they think the conspiracy theory is that someone gained control of his vehicle,
hacked his shit,
forced it to crash into a tree at 120 miles an hour.
Dude. And as we know, these EVs, like, they accelerate pretty quick, and that he could have just easily been going 40 miles an hour and just somebody hit the fucking button.
Now let's see what this is about.
He was like, if you haven't had a U.S. government agent come to you and say, stop, shut the fuck up. Stop, shut the fuck up. If that hasn't happened, they're going to let you do it. They're waiting. There are SSP motherfuckers that are fucking twiddling their thumbs. Like, is Amy not going to publish soon? Gah, we've been influencing this bitch forever. Doesn't she know we want her to publish? Jesus. Like, there's multiple people doing that right now. And on the other side of the fence, there's multiple parties looking at each other like, didn't we tell this bitch 3 years ago that we kill people for this? Is she not listening? What is she doing? She's still doing it? What? We told her we were going to kill her 3 years ago. So I have these two different scenarios floating constantly in my life where I have people being like, do it, do it, do it. You're the one, do it. And then I have multiple people being like, they're going to kill you. Don't do it. They're going to kill you.
I'm just saying, you know, it's strange. You know,
So how did she die? She allegedly killed herself?
Yeah.
So she allegedly killed herself. She was 34. She was working on anti-gravity or gravity manipulation.
I think they all were working on similar projects as well.
It's fucking weird. Maybe it's just a really hard job and it leads to depression and anxiety from long hours or maybe while you're doing that kind of research, you realize the universe is just a simulation and you off yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's in a weird way plausible. You know, like I don't disagree that any of the possibilities of any of this, except for just people just being like, you know, like individually having their own circumstances, right? Let's just say this guy was hiking and he really did trip and fall off a mountain. Let's say this person was depressed and they really did off themselves. Let's just say this, that, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure if they were any other worker, somebody would have noticed that, hey, like 5 construction workers just recently missing and they were all working on this one project. You know, like police would have looked into that, you know, or the FBI or something like that. If it was anything else, like if you had a restaurant chain, right? And let's just say there was some controversy going on with McDonald's and 5 people from senior management all like within the last 4 years off themselves and then another 10 went missing. Like, you know, people like there would have been a red flag way early. And I know it's not high profile as far as like it being in the know because obviously these are all classified meaning that secret, right? So all this shit is secret, so it's not going to be up in everybody's face as far as the public goes. But now that it's like cat's out of the bag, what now?
Yeah, and I for shits and giggles, I asked AI, at what point does something become a pattern? And the answer is when a single event is a mistake or a fluke, 2 events can be considered a coincidence. But 3 occurrences or events are often cited as the point at which a behavior becomes a recognizable pattern. And we have how many? 12?
Yeah.
12.
Is a dozen. A dozen, that sounds a little past coincidental. You know?
Very strange.
And when you have Kash Patel as the head of the FBI now, and he's, you know, allegedly hammered at work half the time.
Yeah, I had a video of
how do you have anybody investigating anyone? Like, you know what I mean? Like if the upper management is slacking so hard.
I mean, what is his job as the director of the FBI?
To make sure that everybody else is doing their jobs and to hand down orders. And if nobody's handing down orders, or if the only orders are to, you know, stop investigating this, then what really is getting investigated? You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It seems like in the news, like even in right-wing news outlets, like it's like Kash Patel, you know, stopped the investigation. So it's like of this, that, or the other. So it's like, of course you're going to get you know. And this is another one, I guess, to also segue into. This guy has been talking about aliens forever, right? So he was on Ancient Aliens, you know, which is whimsical, right? And this guy just offs himself, which
It's
it could be easily dismissed because, you know, like you could easily just like, rationally speaking, you know, like these are all quacks and they all have mental problems, and mental problems usually goes hand in hand with suicide. And then it's like, but this guy lived for it, and then he says like he was loving life. Who says, you know, it's sort of like, it's suspect to me if somebody says that, wow, I'm really enjoying life, and then they go and kill themselves. Like, what changes in such a short period of time?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's not possible, because people can be mentally unstable and switch it up, right? But the thing is, if if people are taken like by surprise, then that means that there probably wasn't that much of a history of this guy attempting it. Not saying that people who do commit suicide attempt it often. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's people who like go halfway for the attention, and I'm sure there's people who are just unsuccessful, who don't complete, the whole thing. However, and I know there's people first try and they hit a home run, and there you go, you're at the pearly gates. But I don't know, like, now that all of this UAP, UFO, alien technology, dimensional beings, blah 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 blah, you figure like, oh wow, like these people, I have something more to live for, because exactly what I'm, like, obsessed with is becoming now common news. It's not just me being on the History Channel doing something that people are going to make fun of on SNL.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing something that is seriously.
I was going to say about the Ancient Aliens statement is that it's kind of scary how, as more and more time goes by, Ancient Aliens doesn't seem that far out there anymore. You know what I mean?
No. And you know what prepared me for this? And I always bring it back. Comic books, bro. They've been talking about this shit forever. And it's like, not, and it not being serious, but then I'm thinking, like, let's just say simulation theory, because we always bring this up, right? It's always a fun thing to go back to. Let's just say simulation theory, right? Simulation theory. What if the simulation has been preparing us for shit like this since the atomic age? You know what I mean? The beginning of the atomic age.
Weird.
Because doesn't that go hand in hand? Like, like we start blowing up nukes, and then these weird things just start showing up, like a lot more than they had been. Like, maybe they had been, but obviously, like, we talked about ancient religions and stuff like that having, like, wow, but what if this is just how they explained aliens, and then they came up with these legends, like, Norse gods.
What if they're one and the same?
Gods.
It didn't matter. They are the god. You know what I mean? What if it's all the same?
And that's how that civilization explained it, right? So it's like, and now it's like these aliens that saw, that there might have been somewhat like of an advance earlier on, that, obviously humans fuck everything up. And they fucked it up, but they were just sticking around a lot more back then, because we were doing like, oh wow, these like, like sticking, stick stones, and like, and like just, fire burning humans are now building mega structures in a very short period of time. You know what I mean? And they were like, oh, let's go keep an eye on them. And then they go and keep an eye on us. But then there was also one of these scientists, I'm not sure if it was one that went missing, because it's all a blur now when you just are fucking scrolling through fucking brain rot videos. That one of them was saying that for sure they know what it is, and they know that there are two types of they have a number for them. It's like P52s and P47s, and the P47s are from 47,000 years in the future, and the P52s are from 52,000 years in the future. And one of them, I'm not sure if it's the 47s or the 52s, but the 47s were the ones that went underground after a calamity, or after the calamity that's supposed to happen. And then I don't know if it's 52 or 47 again, but the other one are the ones that stayed on the surface. And so they themselves are like coming back in time to visit us, but they're from two different points in time.
Before I play this video, because we didn't even play the video, we started talking. We went way past it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie The Time Machine with Guy Pearce?
Yes, I remember the Guy Pearce version.
It's very similar to this theory where, you know, he goes into the future and he goes into the future with a point where somehow they destroy the moon and the moon collapses, breaks apart, and falls into Earth.
Imagine how sick that ring looks like in the thousands of years that after it happens. That probably looks pretty dope.
And then he goes into the future even further, and he meets a group of people who live on the surface, the survivors on the surface, who stay on the surface. And then he meets the survivors underground who stayed.
The Momen, right? Wasn't it like the Momen? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like they had a hive mind now or something, right? Because there was one guy controlling them all or something.
Yeah, but those like writers' renditions of what that would be, it turns them into like a sewer rat type of humanoid. When I think it's really the Greys are these ones that went underground, and they just became, you know, like they became still advanced underground. And that's probably why they go into the ocean, right? This is why we're seeing these things go into the oceans, because there's probably entrances that they're like, hey, we got to make these entrances to the portals in a place where these humans can't get. They could get to the moon, but they can't get to the Marianas Trench. They can't get to the fucking deepest depths of the ocean. The pressure's too strong. They don't have vessels that do that. So it's like, we'll keep our portals under the ocean.
Wow. I'm reading the time machine thing now. So it was the time machine. The Morlocks are ape-like carnivorous subterranean human descendants inhabiting the year 800,000 AD.
Not to be confused with the Morlocks from the X-Men, who just live in the subways and then Storm ends up beating Callisto and taking over the Morlocks. Not those Morlocks. They were named after. But the Morlock term, that was Jules Verne, right? Who wrote the original?
H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrote the time. Wait, he wrote the Time Machine?
Apparently.
It wasn't Jules Verne?
It says in H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, 1895.
Okay, so then Jules Verne, what did Jules Verne write then? I thought he wrote the Time Machine. Isn't that why Dr. Emmett Brown, which I just learned and realized this weekend, that Emmett is time backwards.
He wrote 20,000
Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah.
From the Earth to the moon, around the world in 80 days.
80 days, yeah.
Journey to the center of Earth.
Yes, he didn't do the Time Machine.
Let's see, there's more. No, not the Time Machine.
Wow, that is like some serious Mandela effect for me, man, because for all of these years I thought I knew H.G. Wells was a sci-fi writer from the early 1900s, but I always thought Jules Verne wrote The Time Machine, and then that is why Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future and Back to the Future Part 3, he introduces Marty to his two kids from the future, and his kids' names are Jules and Verne.
Isn't H.G. Wells the one that basically
War of the Worlds?
Scientology was based off of?
No.
It's the other guy then.
That's L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah. No, but H.G. Wells, I know he did War of the Worlds.
Yes, which is a very Scientologist kind of movie.
Well, I think it influenced people like...
Yeah.
And what about C.S. Lewis? He didn't only do the Chronicles of Narnia. He did mostly sci-fi.
Personally liked his books better. I liked Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I love the Chronicles of Narnia. I love those books.
He's like as
I like
far
the
as
movies too.
Yeah, as far as a fantasy writer, dude, he was like probably still holds up to being like one of the best.
Yeah, he's on the level of Tolkien to me.
Did he do John Carter?
I don't know. I never read them.
John Carter is the one where the guy, it's like the early 1900s, he gets shot to Mars, and Mars is a battle planet. It's sort of like Thor Ragnarok, except he's just a human who now is just like in an alien world. And
they were written by Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to play this video finally.
Okay.
Every day that I have on Earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that.
You see?
Because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary. Every day that I have on Earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very...
So he says this, and this is very recent. This is within the last week. right? He had to have said this no more than 2 weeks ago, for sure, right? Because this is when, you know, all this really started like coming. It's when it came into my radar that there were missing scientists going back to you know, like a few years ago, and that now and at that point there were only 9, and now there's 11 or 12.
They're saying he killed himself.
And they're saying he's you know, sewer slided. So what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here, dude? What's going on here, dude? And it seemed like he was happy that it's being investigated. He said he loves life. This doesn't sound like this sounds like somebody who wants to see how this pans out and is not going to kill themselves before the second act. You know, because we're not even done with the first act of this yet. You know, first act is, you know, UFO sightings, UAP sightings, and then, you know, shit hitting the fan with, you know, like the government having to release classified documents. And now, you know, like there's been a string of scientists since the talk of this, because this goes back to the Biden administration that they were talking about releasing this stuff. This is pre-Trump term too. And they might have even been talking about this in Trump's first term, but COVID was just like rampant and nobody was talking about anything but COVID, you know, for fucking 2 years. So, you know, like now it's like, okay, this is starting to get a little weird. What the hell is going on? And what is it that they got to tell us that they know?
All right. So hear me out. Here's my theory.
Shoot.
And it's going to be a quick one. But something bad is going to happen.
Right.
Whether it's the polar, the whatchamacallit switch, the north and
magnetic
south.
pole. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Whether it's that or some kind of impact, something really bad.
What if it's like the finger snap? What if Thanos is just going to snap his fingers?
Could be that too. And I think that what we're seeing are people from the future warning people in the present about this.
Which is pretty much, you know, like sci-fi.
I think it's,
you know,
they are in contact with our government. There are secret programs it's being discussed. And I think they are preparing for it.
So why would the government, knowing this, like, okay, if this is even close to a miracle that anybody could really from the future go through a portal, come back now, you know, like through interdimensional travel, why would they consider even moving forward? Like, can I say this, right? Is it, and let's just say the higher ups in our government know this, and let's just say even Russia knows this too, because Russia's not even like, you know, playing, like, aside from maybe helping out Iran, they're not like as involved as we are on the Israel side, right? Of this whole jam. Mm-hmm. So let's just say, like, does that have to play out in order for the future not to be fucked?
Who knows? Because I don't think the president is even aware of it, to be honest. I think it goes deeper than that.
Well, I don't think he's aware of much.
I think it's the super elites, and those are the people that basically run the governments, the Black Rocks, you know, those.
So who gets to talk to these aliens? Who is take me to your leader? Who's the leader then?
I don't think it's a take me to the leader. I don't think they're aliens. I think they're future humans.
Even still, take us to your leader.
Hold on. No, I think it's wait. You're thinking like so. Focus.
Okay.
These are the survivors of that catastrophe, right?
Yes, right.
So they decide to go back in time to stop it or do whatever, but then they, you know, it could be the loop has to complete itself. Meaning, they go back in time and they're the ones we see to prevent it, but they're not. And by doing so, they created that path for themselves. So they didn't prevent it; they saved themselves. So they're just saving themselves.
Oh, so they're just going to go to like their John Connor anchor being.
Yes.
Go to them because we need you to succeed in order for us to be alive.
Okay, who survived? Okay, these are the people that survived. Okay, how do we make sure they go back in time to stop it, and they end up just making sure they survive? If that makes sense, like. You know what I mean? It's. I forgot the name of the paradox, but you know, would it still have happened if you never had the machine to begin with?
Right, and so, I'm also thinking now to expand on your theory. What if it's the 42,000 year or the 47,000 year ago ones that are the selfish ones, and the 52,000 years from now ones that are like, hey, you guys messed up, and now we have to come back. What if they're both
This is some whatchamacallit, Christopher Nolan Tenet type shit. Remember the movie Tenet?
Yes.
I like that movie.
Yeah. But then again, it's also like Back to the Future, because it's like if you change the past, you change the future.
Which is that's exactly what I'm saying though. Like they came here, and that might have changed. Like if they never came here, would they ever been able to come here to begin with?
Right.
It's like
And also,
it is the time travel paradox.
I'm also thinking too, right? If they're so hyper fixated on us and they're using this technology to come and see us, do we even talk to other beings? Have we contacted aliens yet? Right? Doesn't that make you think about that? Like, wouldn't they have already cozied up to another civilization 52,000 years from now? Enough so
what
that
if
they
there
could.
isn't another civilization? What if that other
Where the Lonely Island theory, right?
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? But did you see this one? Did you see this? This maybe.
I laughed really hard. I'm going to tell you, like, a lot of people are just like pissed off because, like, obviously people just get pissed off on the internet. This is just because I already don't take Pete Hegseth seriously, as a military leader. So, like, aside from his credentials, like, I understand he's been in the military. I understand all that. And maybe he could be doing something on a lower tier of the hierarchy, but I definitely prefer like an older, seasoned. Give me somebody who's at least been through Vietnam.
How
run the show?
How old are you, Ryan?
40. I'm gonna be 45.
So basically, Pete Hegseth is a year older than you.
Yeah, I know.
And he's running the military.
And even if I went the route my dad went and went to the Army, you know what I mean? I don't think I would be, even if I stayed in, qualified enough because of my age, regardless of my accolades. You know what I mean? I think you need.
And he's not even impressive.
Cooler heads prevail. You know what I mean? I feel like I said, like somebody who's probably not only been through Iraq. Give me somebody who's been through both Iraqs. Give me somebody who's been at least through part of the Cold War. And I would even be more comfortable if they at least were deployed in Vietnam. You know what I mean? Because then it's like they could see how bad it could get. And then through the Cold War, they could, already have been to like the doomsday clock, right? And they shut the doomsday clock off and they had to turn it back on now again.
Was he, did he ever go to Iraq?
I think Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, I could also be making that up, but like you. I mean, I'm just assuming you would have to have some sort of serious military experience in order for you to be the head of defense.
He was a Minnesota Army National Guardsman.
Oh, okay.
Guantanamo Bay detention camp.
Okay.
So he's tortured a few people. He led. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
He led a platoon of soldiers from the New Jersey National Guard.
Did he ever get deployed overseas?
Minnesota National Guard. He was an instructor. I don't think he's never seen combat.
That is wild. I mean, I'm not saying you have to get shot at, but at least you should have gone to another country if you're going to be pulling maneuvers in another country.
I mean,
right?
This is why a lot of people had issues with him becoming the secretary.
Well, he was a Fox News anchor before this.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even doing military work right before going into it. You figured like as a fighter, right? You got to train pretty close up to the date of your fight, right? So you're not going to be like, I trained so hard for like 6 years, but you know what? For the last 2 years, I've just been sitting on my couch eating fucking cheese doodles, but I got a fight booked tomorrow. Are you going to be prepared to handle that? No, because you're coming in cold. You're not warmed up. You're not, in the active.
All right.
Like practice.
So according to AI, it says Pete Hegseth is a decorated combat veteran who served as an infantry officer in the Army National Guard with deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo Bay.
So he did go to Iraq and
But
Afghanistan.
then I
But
didn't
that's
see that in the list of places he's been to, though. Let's see. Let's try this again. Military career. Okay, he volunteered. There you go. I missed a quick little thing there. July 2005, after he returned from Guantanamo Bay, he volunteered to serve as an infantry officer in Iraq, where he received the Bronze Star Medal. He served in the 3rd Battalion, 187th Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne.
what I'm saying.
He
Like,
also was
if that's
in
all he,
Baghdad
that's
and
yeah.
a couple of places. Okay.
Okay.
Stand
Okay.
corrected.
So he has a lot of experience in the most recent war that we've had, but I need at least 2 or 3.
No, and now
You
back
know what
to
I mean?
the video. I'm gonna play it finally, but I think he was trolling people. I think he was trolling.
I think his speechwriter just got fucking lazy and pulled something about like.
You think so?
Like,
That's
yeah.
even funnier.
I think one of his interns or assistants definitely was like typed into AI, "Give me a motivational Bible quote," and the first thing it pulled up was Sam Jackson's, which isn't even Sam Jackson's because Quentin Tarantino was heavily influenced by Asian cinema. So it's actually taken from a Japanese movie, a Sonny Chiba movie.
It's a combination of a Bible verse and
Sonny Chiba. Yeah. And it's, you know what I mean? It's not even the full quote. And he also, I guess what they did was they edited the end of it because he didn't want to say, "And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee." You know, that part. He changed that part. But it's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious that he's like quoting it and he's seriously quoting it. That's why you think he's trolling. Because when internet trolls troll, they try to be as convincing as possible to rage bait. But he knew that these 19-year-olds weren't going to know. They've never seen Pulp Fiction, so they have no idea what they're hearing.
Blessed is he who in the name of camaraderie and duty shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
They all have their head down in prayer too. You see that?
Is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee. And amen. So, thank you for joining us. Blessed is he who in the name of...
So instead of gunshots, he says amen. And he says Sandy 1 instead of the Lord, right? I think, do you know what would have actually amped up the crowd more? They all had their head down in prayer like they were actually praying to a complete Bible verse, which is hilarious in itself because of how, it's just how easily influenced people of faith can be when they don't know their faith well enough. You know what I mean? You couldn't pull this shit to a room of priests, could you? People who are theologians, you couldn't have pulled this stuff.
No, but me and you sitting there, I would have been like,
"That's my favorite movie." I was like, "This is from my favorite movie."
I was like, yo, isn't that Samuel Jackson, bro?
Yeah. Is he quoting the great Samuel? Is he quoting? Or actually, if you were old enough and you were actually into Asian cinema, then you would have remembered the Sonny Chiba thing because it was how Star Wars is the scroll up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They have like the prologue. So the prologue to this movie was this same exact quote being recited, but the whole back end of it is also changed as well. You know what I mean? So, but wait a minute. So then I got a question, Pulp Fiction question, Mike. Samuel L. Jackson quotes the Bible twice in that movie. Mm-hmm. He does it at the end of the movie. Remember when he's sitting with Honey Bunny?
Yeah.
And what's his face and Tim Roth when they're sitting there in the diner and I think it's right before the bad motherfucker wallet thing where they pull his wallet out. But he quotes the Bible there too. Was that a bogus Bible quote as well?
I don't know.
No. I know. I'm just saying. Now it's making me question the whole movie. I think I'm gonna go. I have it. I still have it on DVD. I bought the collector's edition years ago. So I'm gonna try and see if any of the disc extras, if there's anything referencing this at all. And I want to rewatch the movie and then try to see, you know what I mean? I want to see like if that's, holds up as well, or if it's an actual Bible quote or not.
What is this? Is he just pissing?
Yep.
Why?
They're waiting for him to finish.
Oh, they were gonna arrest him the second he finished.
Yeah.
Does he get away? That'd be great.
A couple of them stopped chasing. This is hilarious. I want to watch this again.
But did he?
Yeah, they don't want to touch him.
Away before.
They don't want to touch him. They don't want to touch him until he's done. I mean, think about it, Mike. Do you want to touch him while he's pissing?
No, you're not gonna tackle the guy and arrest him while he's pissing.
But they weren't fast enough when he was done. As soon as he started dripping, you saw he took 2 steps forward. Here, play it again. He takes 2 steps forward while he's like emptying out.
It's off.
Yeah, you're gonna see he's shuffling his feet, and then he leans forward. He steps in his own piss though. So
Yeah,
there's definitely wet footprints for a little while.
Just follow the piss footprints and we'll catch him.
Follow the piss trail, man. Follow the piss trail, and you'll find your man.
Did you see this? It's blocking it. It's cutting it off.
So if you're born
Breaking.
after
UK approves lifetime smoking ban for anyone born after 2008.
do you know what I'm going to say this when you see that when they raised the minimum age from 18 to 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot less high schoolers started smoking or continued smoking, right? From when we were in high school. When we were in high school, it felt like half of everybody we knew smoked. At least 50% of high schoolers smoked, right? In the 90s and the early 2000s. And then that definitely steadily went down once they raised the age up. I do think that'll work. I think people will eventually, you'll have, because this is prepping them for 30 years from now, not having any smokers in Britain at all. And they could easily, at that point, make it completely illegal to smoke in public or whatnot, like in Singapore, right? In Singapore, I don't even think you could smoke cigarettes on the street. I think the only place you're allowed to legally smoke is in your own home.
Yeah, it was like that in Japan, I think, was it Japan or China?
Really? There's still smoking sections. Smoking sections.
And it was that they don't want you smoking outside. So you can only smoke indoors in designated sections, but they don't want you smoking outside in public. Something like that. Or some weird rule, and I don't know. So, Trump's assassination.
Yeah, this is the KFC video I sent you real quick because I was trying to look for something while I was working earlier, and I was like, I got to send him something quick. Let me just see.
I
And
feel like
KFC posted
we've been
this.
saying this forever. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I like how they go. MAGA is increasingly convinced that Trump assassination, the Trump assassin, I can't talk. I'm so fucking high.
Do you think they're glitching you? Do you think they're glitching you?
Yeah, they won't let me say it. They is my own brain because I'm high. I know on drugs. MAGA is increasingly convinced the Trump assassination attempt was staged.
We got to talk about this. All right.
I don't think it was staged. I think it was set up. There's a difference. I don't.
Well, what's the difference between staged and set up? I thought that's what staged was.
Staged means they were doing it to get more supporters for him. Set up means someone, shadow government, tried to kill him. Mm-hmm. So what's more likely? They tried to shoot at him to get him more popular, but to make him more popular, but they managed to graze his ear.
Which I'm thinking, right? The possibility being that he has a WWE background of that razor trick. You keep the razor in your wristband, and then like Hulk Hogan used to do.
Does he touch his ear? He touches the ear, and then we see the blood too.
Yeah,
right?
he goes like this. He goes like he touches his ear like.
So then, who'd they kill? Who'd they kill? Because someone died.
Listen, shots were fired. You got to have some sort of cover, and they just picked the one guy that they were like, nobody's gonna miss this dude.
Wow, that's fucked up. And
like not that I don't think his family missed him. I'm just saying like who's the most inconsequential person in this crowd that we could just
just think about throwing away life like that to get someone elected again is not insane. I mean, of course they would do that. Of course.
I've said this, dude. But there's not a billionaire out there without blood on their hands, and this includes the Kardashians.
And
I believe that. Now, I'm not accusing or whatever. I'm just saying, like, just by circumstance, even. And I'm going to say this also. That's also in proximity. That's not to say that you yourself didn't physically kill somebody, but somebody at least in arm's reach has definitely got bodies on them. And, let's just say, for example, even by accident, let's just say Caitlyn Jenner ran over and killed, got a car accident, killed somebody, right?
Well, ran over and killed someone, yeah.
Right. And he has his children are billionaires. And no matter what scenario with a billionaire, in the wake, there are bodies. That's my theory. You know what I mean? And am I going to say that Trump was like, well, we just got to kill an audience member. What's the big deal? They're going to love me anyway. Not that I don't think that that's not within his character to be that way. However, people got to remember we're all hyper-fixated on a single person. And no, it is always an army of people who are typing up speeches, who are making up strategies, who are thinking of political maneuvers, who, and sometimes each one of these things is a separate job for somebody. So you have a team of people, you know what I mean? So somebody was like, you know what, how are we going to pull this off? And if somebody like Trump, who's the boss, is just going to be like, I don't care how you do it, just get it done. Because they know that through the separation of the command, you're absolving yourself of some of the responsibility if you delegated it to somebody else. So if you delegate something, you're honestly being like, I left that on the responsibility of Tom, and Tom is the one who did that. So Tom is the one who's going to go down. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of these people know the risk and know that, okay, at any moment this guy could fire me and or have me offed. You know what I mean? So some people are willing to take that risk in order to have that kind of gain. And I don't think anybody ever, it's like in these mafia stories, it's like where is there ever in any of these stories a non-tragic ending where, Tony Montana gets blown away in his mansion, or like even in The Godfather, it's like Pops didn't die, but he was close to death after getting shot. Yeah, he died of a heart attack in a vineyard, years later. However, they did try to kill him. So it's like, that could have gone to fruition. In that story, he got lucky. And the thing is, in mob stories, it's like you could end up dead the same. It's like, like in real life. It's like, what gangster story ends with a Disney ending? Never. You end up like Pablo Escobar most of the time. You see what happens down in the cartels in Mexico. It's like nobody gets out of that. So it's like, what is government?
You're in for
really?
life.
You're in for life. Like if you're part of, the oligarchy, you're in for life.
Let's see what this video has to say.
Blood in, blood out.
Regarding this conspiracy.
Get your tinfoil hats out, folks, because even the MAGA freaks don't believe the Donald Trump assassination was real anymore.
Wired you're not MAGA anymore.
This article saying that even the most staunch Donald Trump supporters now believe that his assassination attempt was an orchestrated PR stunt for him to win the election. Now listen, the vast majority of us don't even need the tinfoil hat, okay? After we saw the alternate angles where you see cameramen and camerawomen, the press being ushered right into the middle of the stage while the crane drops the American flag right in for the perfect shot of Donald Trump raising his fist
that's not weird.
Right before the election. Like, the vast majority of people function.
But to the average Joe, they're going to be like sus about that.
But the problem is that people died that day. Innocent lives were lost. So even the most conspiratorial person would have to say, wow, if this was a setup, they were willing to go to the darkest depths to pull it off. But even despite those circumstances, most people out there were thinking, like, there's something weird going on here. Well, the point of this article from Wired, though, is that even the far-right supporters are coming around on this theory. Tucker Carlson, or this chick Emerald Robinson, Candace Owens, Tim Dillon, all of these powerful, popular political content creators all saying that either Trump orchestrated this or the FBI covered it up or there are some deep ties to Israel. But a lot of those names are content creators. They are in the entertainment business. They will say anything to continue to grow their popularity. Where things get really interesting is with Joe Kent. Joe Kent worked in counterterrorism under the Trump administration. He resigned from that position due to disagreements over the Iran war. And one day after that resignation, he went on Tucker Carlson's podcast. And that's when he admitted that when the counterterrorist unit began investigating the assassination and asking for evidence and snooping around, the Trump administration shut it down and said, don't look into this any further. The article goes on to mention GOP delegates who are skeptical of the story they were told. Even QAnon posters have turned on Trump. It goes all the way to the extreme far right. Even the religious freaks are saying that it was either a miracle that saved Donald Trump or that he's the Antichrist. This guy, Ali Alexander, says from the book of Revelations that the Antichrist was mortally wounded and the fact that he survived it is why the whole world followed him. Sound familiar? Now, the point is not that I'm listening to the religious zealots and the far-right pundits. The point is that even if those people are turning on Donald Trump and they are beginning to question the bullshit that he feeds this country, then it's over for your boy. Now, when I say it's over for Donald Trump, I'm not saying he's going to be, like, impeached or he's going to step down tomorrow. What I'm saying is from a broad sense, from someone who watches the internet and looks at the trends and the movements, like, the revolution is over. The last couple terms, conservative influencers have been carrying his water because money and power and success and popularity came with being a right-wing influencer. Now that wave is coming to an end, no one's promoting this bullshit anymore. Get your tin!
I don't agree with a lot of things he said, but I do agree with, I don't think, see, his house was scrubbed, the shooter. He had no silverware. It was very, very strange. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, also, all right. So, with this whole, like conservative people coming out and stuff, you do have a lot of people, and even on that same podcast he was talking about, Tucker Carlson had that guy on. He was like, I regret supporting him. You know what I mean? And he came out and said that he apologizes for it. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm in a great state of regret for whatever, for supporting this guy. So, like, if you have this out there where supporters are not, staying on the ship and jumping off, whether it be because of the Charlie Kirk situation, whether it be because of this, conspiracy theory about, the fix, and it being like, I would like, these are all things that are plausible within just how Trump is. So, if it's easy to believe because of how he's been, and I feel two ways about conspiracy theories. I feel like, if so many people know, eventually there'll be a leak. But then again, I also believe that this power does extend to enough of an influence to where you could keep hundreds of people or even a thousand people so loyal that they won't blab at all. You know what I mean? And I believe that could be possible as well. I just feel like the stronger the incentive to keep something a secret, the more people will keep it a secret. You know what I mean? Like, for example, aliens. But then if it's somebody who's political, it's like always a 50-50 amongst the people on whether or not somebody supports them or not. So it's easy to see influence seep in who's going to be like, you know what? I don't really like this guy. I'm going to jump ship, like a lot of these influencers did, but somebody within the inner circle sort of like being like, hey, this is true. And some people have come out to say things like that in other respects about other controversies and stuff that aren't, involved now with this assassination attempt. And I'm just saying, Trump comes from a WWE background. I was going to say this before. And there's, there's the razor thing. Hulk Hogan used to do it. So it's like, oh, you get hit in the head with a chair, but you're not bleeding. So what they'll do is they'll be like, and have razors in, stashed somewhere, give themselves a little nick, and razor cuts bleed a lot, So it's not far-fetched to think like, hey, he could have easily just, razor cut his ear and be like, wow, they nipped my ear, which is like a one in a million. And there were several shots fired, and one of them landed on the guy who passed away. You know what I mean? Like one person did die, not many people. I think it was one guy, right?
When you say one of them landed on him and he passed away, I imagine both going, ding, Oh, that hit me and then dying.
Well, you know what sucks is like when you get shot, you don't die right away most of the time.
Well, yeah.
Unless it's a kill shot. Unless it's like, and I think even when you get shot in the heart, you're still conscious for a little bit before you actually pass. You know what I mean? So you know you were shot. Unless you're shot dead in the head and it shuts your brain off. You know what I mean? You were definitely like, oh, I'm hit. And then you keel over. You know what I mean?
What is this guy saying? You sent me this. I don't know what this is.
Let's see.
Asshole of the Year award goes to my son. Covered my entire fucking truck in peanut butter. What kind of an asshole does something to a fucking Ford Raptor like this?
He probably got grounded.
Dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Well, he's grounded for double now.
Thing covered in peanut butter. I'm gonna get pulled over on the way to the car wash because you can't even see my fucking plate. Asshole of the Year award goes to my son.
Yo, he covered that whole car, bro.
Covered my
that whole
entire
car.
fucking truck in peanut butter.
That's
what
a whole.
Kind of an
that's
asshole.
A whole large jar of Skippy, bro.
Do you know what I'm thinking in my head?
Maybe 2 large jars of Skippy.
I'm thinking this guy covered his entire car in peanut butter for 218,000 likes.
Totally possible. Like I said, I'm open to any conspiracy theory, Mike. And I'm just gonna say this: I think if you go to a decent enough car wash, you pass that thing through twice, especially if you had the car waxed decent enough, like within the recent couple of months. A lot of that will just wash off. Like in a dishwasher, you ever put a peanut butter spoon in the dishwasher? Shit comes out crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like so. I think he's all right. It would suck if he got peanut butter in the tailpipe, because that would cause a problem.
Yes, I mean,
like if it was in any of the actual mechanism of the engine, or if it was in any of the actual mechanical parts of the car or in the undercarriage or whatever, I think that it would be a problem. But covering just the body in peanut butter, I think he'll be all right at the car wash. Oh, what's this? Underground City.
The volume's on, you fuck. It's right there. It says it's on.
It's Saturday, I believe. And here's the truck I've been driving for the last few days for Wilson Logistics. This trailer just was assigned to us from Kraft over at the Kraft Foods plant. And we're delivering it here to what's called the Springfield Underground. And that is, as you can see behind me, this giant cave that's big enough to house hundreds of these trucks and trailers. There's a train track running through here. Just to give you an idea, back here, there's a regular sized truck. See how tall that is up there? It's just incredible. It's Saturday, I believe. And,
well, all right. You know how like there's that big mega structure underneath the Denver airport? Like, I believe that there's several places like this in the country that are, like, deep enough underground to
what did he call
sustain...
it? I want to Google it.
Here's the truck I've been driving for the last few days.
It was for Kraft.
For Wilson Logistics.
No, I know, but he called
this trailer just was assigned to us from Kraft over at the Kraft Foods plant. And we're delivering it here to what's called the Springfield Underground. And that...
Springfield where? Is this like a Simpsons thing where we don't know which Springfield it is? Is it Illinois? Is it Maine?
Yeah, but it's called the Springfield Underground. It's got to be something well known. And
all right.
Ooh, interesting.
Let's see.
No.
Let's see.
Sorry, I need a better image than this, but see photos.
So wait, is this where they store like doomsday stuff?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out in a sec, but it's built in the rock.
Yeah, it looked like those columns were.
Look at that shit.
Yeah. What so they had to bore a cave into a mountain.
That's what it looks like. Let's go back.
This is definitely like shit you see in the movies, bro.
Springfield Underground location. No, I can't talk again.
Oh, excuse me.
Located in the heart of the country. Wow, I can't read.
Springfield Underground has been
Underground has
solving our
customers' problems with unique spaces for over 50 years. Fast facts.
So it's just a company that makes caves. But what for? For what purposes? Storage facilities.
It is true that most of the federal government's stockpile of cheese is stored in underground. However, these storage facilities are usually converted quarries or mines, not natural caves. This is the case for the Springfield Underground, which was originally a limestone quarry operated by the Gresimer Stone Company. So who owns it?
The Erlen Group?
Springfield. Yep. You see that, right? That's
Yeah.
it is. Who's this? Who's them? Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you don't see it. Damn it. Here you go. That's it.
Yeah, but that could be used as bomb shelter, right? And obviously they're stockpiling food, like a lot of cheese. Like, okay, I understand the purpose of stockpiling oil. I understand the purpose of stockpiling precious metals. I understand the purpose of yada, yada, yada. You keep going and going and going, right? But what's the purpose of cheese? Cheese does go bad eventually. I know it lasts a long time, and there's certain cheeses like wine where they'll keep in a cellar for decades, and it's still good to eat. So it's like, why are they stashing craft singles? Are they trying to see how long it takes for massive amounts of food to go bad? You know what I mean? Because in my refrigerator, I've had some pretty good refrigerators over the years, right? Some pretty high efficient, very cold, very low, decent humidity control, and I could keep cheese for a while, and I have, because I love cheese. I'm a cheese motherfucker, cheesy as fuck, right?
Cheese motherfucker.
That's right. I fuck mothers of cheese. So, bad joke. So like, what's the purpose? And because cheese does go bad eventually, and I have had cheese go bad that I've had in the package closed. Usually I eat the cheese before the sell by date, but sometimes you miss a package, and eventually it's like, oh, it's still good to eat. It might be good for a couple of months afterwards. However, I've definitely left Parmesan cheese in a container in the fridge too long, haven't used it, and then go back to it maybe, oh wow, this is 6 months past date, and it starts to grow mold on it. It's got a couple blue patches on it. So it's I understand vacuum sealing and all that stuff, but how long does fucking cheese really last? How long? Hyper processed cheese probably lasts a while, right?
This place is not only for stockpiling cheese. It's not for stockpiling for the government necessarily. Okay, so here it is. I'm just going to read it. It's the key uses of Springfield Underground. It's refrigerated and freezer storage. Roughly 75% of the space is used for storing food, including massive quantities of cheese for companies like Kraft, Heinz, or Dairy Farmers of America. That's for sale. So it's processed there and shipped out elsewhere. Mm-hmm. It also houses over 50 companies, including logistics, electronic distribution, and local municipal data center. So it's a data center, which makes sense. Now, it's also used for strategic storage. It holds a strategic national stockpile of food products, so that it also does have that. But I'm going to assume it's grains and other things like that, not like cheese.
Yeah.
The energy efficient warehousing. The warehouse has a natural temperature of about 30 degrees, so it serves as a cost-effective location for climate-controlled warehousing.
So they're storing a bunch of stuff, but for what? Is that where it goes before it goes to your store shelves?
Yeah, well, it's a processing center. They have
okay.
So if you're shipping to all of that area, you'll go there first and process it, ship it up, or pack it up, or whatever. And it's over, by the way, just so you know, it's over 3.2 million square feet.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's not as big as the Pentagon, though. I think the Pentagon has more square feet.
Really?
It's still pretty big. Right? Doesn't the Pentagon still hold the record for biggest structure in the United States?
6.6 million. Wow. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
So we got Timmy No Breaks. I just found this. I never watched it. I don't know. I just
Kill Tony.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
Kill Tony's been on Netflix like pretty often. Like the last like couple of months, they've been releasing I think every month a Kill Tony special on Netflix, and they just had one like with WrestleMania like partnered up, and Tony Hinchcliffe is a huge wrestling fan, so I think he just had like the Undertaker on or something like that.
That's epic. But this was Timmy No Breaks.
On that table is a contract that will be signed by Tone, and it will give me health insurance. I will read from said contract. Timothy will appear on Kill Tone, where he will perform minutes, interviews, and like fuck Heidi and shit. In exchange for services rendered, he will get health insurance and most importantly, 10 panel appearances per year for the next 10 years or until I get SNL, okay? How do we fucking feel about that? Paul, let's sign the contract. Come over here.
No.
Why? What's your problem?
Because I'm not signing a contract.
You gotta sign this contract and I'm not doing the show anymore.
I'm not signing the contract.
Are you saying I'm off the show?
You were a regular, and if you want to, I'll downgrade you to being a bronze ticket winner.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't need this fucking show. I'm bigger than this show. I'm bigger than this fucking audience. You guys disgust me.
Turning heel. He turned heel.
Fucking slobs. And fuck you. Look at these pores up here. I can't even fucking see you. I have to get on a fucking chair to look at every one of you. Motherfuckers. Fuck you, Kill Tony audience. And fuck you, WrestleMania. I don't give a shit. Shut up. On that table.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. You ready?
Tony Hinchcliffe's living the dream right now. This is what he wanted to do since he's like a kid.
Sure. However, wrestling's gay, bro.
I mean,
it's.
I mean, it's still entertaining. The birdcage is gay, but it's still entertaining.
Okay, no, but that's a different. That's literally gay. The birdcage is literally gay, but it's also literally It's a great movie.
Yes.
If someone was going to ask me, I want you to name a perfect movie. It's Back to the Future.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's Chinatown.
Okay, Jack Nicholson classic. Yeah.
I would put The Birdcage on that list.
Yeah, because it's Robin Williams and Nathan Lane,
and
which the combo is just
a good 3-act movie. Simple.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's La Cage aux Folly, right?
Rocky might be on that list.
Well, I mean, you can't just do a top 3 of all time. I mean, it has to be 10. 10 is the minimum.
Perfect movies.
I think there's definitely more than 10 perfect movies.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you like examples. I think The Birdcage is on that list.
As far as comedies go, it's probably up there for in representation of comedy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say The Birdcage is up there. I obviously, perfect movies. Rocky's a perfect movie because it's a great 3-act movie, like you said. Because if you're gonna go like, okay, this goes in the basic formula of theater, so it's like first act, second act, third act. You know what I mean? Like, you have a bunch of perfect movies. Honestly, I think just as being somewhat of a cinephile, like Night of the Living Dead could be up there too, because how it's like Outbreak, first act, In the House, second act, third act is The Breach. You know what I mean? And it really does, and it flows like you don't even realize you're going into phases of the movie.
It started the whole genre too.
It starts the genre, right? And there's other great movies like that, too. Like even how they did The Wizard of Oz. Or how they did, like if you watch let's get a good Denzel movie, like Training Day has that too, where it's like the beginning is like the, like assimilating the new recruit.
Oscar?
American Gangster is another one that's a great 3-act movie too. You know what I mean? Because it's the rise, it's the reign, and then the downfall. You know what I mean? Same thing with Scarface. So gangster movies always have that. Goodfellas too. Goodfellas has the first act where it's the backstory of the crew, you know, and then the middle of their
here's
lucrative.
A good example. Here's a good example. I would say Goodfellas is a near perfect. Great
yeah.
movie. Great movie. It's almost a perfect movie. It's based on a true story, but they took some liberties to make it make sense.
Change some names.
However, I'd argue the reverse side of that is Casino is not a perfect movie. It's a good movie.
It's too long. I feel Casino's too. It's a good movie, but it's too long. It's like it's like The Irishman. The Irishman is too long.
Yes,
you know,
it's not only just too long, but like I didn't give a shit about Sharon Stone's character.
Yeah, but you know, in the actual real life story, she does play a huge part, and you know, Rothstein's.
I don't know if the acting just didn't do it for me, or just didn't like the character. But I don't know, just something I did. I was like,
do you like Sharon Stone in anything though?
The Quick and the Dead.
She was really good in the. She was really good. Quick and the Dead. That's all right. Near perfect movie, not perfect movie. Near perfect movie,
and it's not on a top list for anybody usually. I like the Quick. It's one of my favorite. Well, movies.
Sam Raimi's great. Like I love Sam Raimi. You know, obviously, like Evil Dead when I was a kid, but then when he started doing actual movies, like that's why Spider-Man 2 is so great. Spider-Man 2 is so great because it is okay for a comic book movie. It's a perfect comic book movie, and for cinema, it is a near perfect movie because it falls within the 3 acts and it has all of the drama and it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time, which is what an action movie should be doing. Like the reason why we watch John Wick is because every scene chains to the next and it never gets boring. You know what I mean? So. You know, I don't know if any action movies falls into the whole, you know, perfect movie. I don't think there are any action movies except for Terminator 2 and Aliens. And I know both of them are James Cameron movies, so I'm like leaning James Cameron heavy. But as far as sci-fi action, those are the only 2 that I could say is up there in the perfect movie. Terminator 2 is a perfect movie. You know what I mean?
Terminator 2 is a perfect movie. Because there are stuff. Terminator 1 was
good. It's good. You're perfect. Terminator 2 is better than 1, though, for sure.
Yeah, Terminator 2, you have the budget differences is, I think, insane as well.
Yeah, I think the writing makes that movie, even though it has the steroid boost of the dawn of CGI. Because Terminator 2 came out and used the same CGI techniques as, let's just say, Jurassic Park, you know, to do the T-1000. And today's standards, it holds up because they didn't need much. To make somebody look like Mercury was way easier back then for them to do as opposed to like doing dinosaur scales. So 2 years later, when they come out with the dinosaur scales, they had refined the technique to actually do detail. But you didn't need much detail to do the T-1000. And a lot of that movie is still practical effects too.
Okay, so example here is Terminator. Was $6.4 million budget.
It's still pretty high for the 80s.
Terminator 2 was $102 million budget.
Yeah, because they were really banking on it being a mega hit. Yeah, and they hit a home run with that. They knew they were going to hit a home run too.
It has one of my favorite notorious whoopsie moments in movies.
All right, what's that? What's the what's the whoops?
The Terminator, Arnold's character is driving with John Connor in the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then the truck, 18-wheeler,
bursts through the wall,
breaks off the edge overpass and slams down. You watch the front windows fall out.
Forward, right.
Mm-hmm. And they completely come out of the car.
Yes.
The next scene, he's driving the car, the windows are smashed, and he pushes and breaks through them to see.
But you know what it is in the cut? Like, they were like, listen, we don't have the budget to do this again. So they said, let's just keep the shot. And it's suspension of belief. Nobody's paying attention to the detail when they're sitting in the movie theater in 1991. So nobody probably caught that until you were able to hit rewind 2 years later when the VHS came out. You know what I mean?
Let's see. I think I found it. Let's see if I can find the part where it happens, though. is it? So I'm doing research. All right, I found it. Hold on, let's see. Am I wrong, or did they go back and fix it?
Everything's been digitally.
Yeah, I think they digitally fixed it because it's not. It's or it's the Mandela effect.
Well, back in the day, they used to have a compilation before they started going back and fixing these movies. You know what I mean? Like in the early aughts, I think it was like 2009. Even still, like there were a bunch of YouTube videos that had all of the most famous outtakes of all time. Like there's one real simple mistake where there's a mirror scene in Pretty Woman where she's like trying on dresses and the mirror flips. Like it's like one of those pivot mirrors, and you can see the cameraman and the boom operator. You know what I mean? Holding the mic. So, you know, like there would be a whole bunch of scenes similar to this from other movies where it would be like, oh, there was a person there, and then the camera switches for 2 seconds to the away shot, and then back to the front shot, and the person's like not there anymore. You know what I mean? Or the person's wearing a different shirt from one shot to the next, like it's a red shirt, green shirt. And it's like, hold on a second, wasn't there somebody with a red shirt standing there? And it was because they switched extras and didn't realize that people were going to catch that flub in the shot, you know?
Are these guys breaking into a Scientology place?
So have you been to Los Angeles?
No.
I've driven past this building a couple of times.
But I've been past and tried to like walk into the lobby of the one in the city. I don't know if it's still there.
They do
one in Manhattan.
They do this at that one too. So it's storming the Scientology buildings, and it's a new trend. It's an internet trend. So it used to be like a couple of people were doing it, like they do, you know, like pedophile catching. It's for, you know, people would rush and be like, hey, you know, like at first it was questions. So somebody would walk up to the front desk and ask questions about Scientology and then end up trolling them, right? And then it went from that to people like going in and asking expose questions, you know, like, why do you do this? And why do you like hold people hostage? And why do you, and then it went from that to people, because people were just getting turned away at the door. And technically, because it's a religious institution, they're allowed to let, you know, they have to like let people in. You can't like lock the public out. So it went from that to people being like recognized as, okay, these guys keep harassing us. And then it went from that, from asking questions to people just opening the door and bum rushing and trying to see how far they could get in. Now people are like, oh, I made it 2 corridors down, or I made it to the office 10 when the last video I was only able to make it to office 3. So everybody's trying to challenge themselves, see how far into these buildings they could get. So there's one in LA that they do it to a lot. The one in New York that you're talking about, they do it to as well, like a lot of these viral trend videos. So now they up the ante. So used to be like 2 people, cameraman and mic guy. Now it's like groups of 10.
Really?
Yeah, and they try to like see like, oh, well, they had 3 security guards, so that there were 4 of us, and they were able to get all 4 of us. How about we do 8?
Then.
Let's do 8 the next time.
Get out! Get out! Get out of the building! Get out of the building! Now! You're trespassing!
Yeah, horns too.
Go! Go up! Where are you going down for?
Why are you going down? Wow. This is crazy.
Yes, this is the max.
Get out! Get out! Get out of the building! Get out of the building! Now! You're trespassing! Get out of the building! Get out! Stop it! Get out! Just get out! Just get out! Thank you! Go! Get out! Go!
But they didn't see anything weird. It's like,
So I got a question. How long until like one of these kids get like shot or seriously hurt?
You can't just shoot someone, can you? They're just running in your property. It's not
and correct me if
right? Well, that's LA.
That's LA, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong, right? There is a difference between the level of trolling that you do when you're like a like man on the street microphone guy, like going into a Scientology building, and then or you're just a group of raiders who are just running in and harassing. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, okay, I'm not trying to be the old man who's like, oh, these kids nowadays. But the thing is, it's like, there's a different level of disrespect. And I'm not, and trust me, I don't believe any of that fucking, like zip zap alien sci-fi fantasy fucking bullshit that they believe in. And I do believe a lot of the shit that Lisa Remini and people like her who have like left the faith, like say that it's like like a cult, and this guy Miscavige is like a tyrant and all that stuff. It's like, okay, that's fine and all, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, they've like, are still, the people who believe in it aren't like so much the ones at fault. And then to harass them is a little fucked up, you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, like, do you damn the cult follower? It's like, yeah, you could be like, wow, you're sort of like a little, you could say, and I'm even cool with this, like, it is like with the Mormons and stuff that like have the multiple wives and are kid touchers. It's like, I can't hate on the women who get abused by that because of, like their lack of the ability to sort of see that they're being led in the wrong way. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not going to blame these people unless they start to become seriously complicit in some heinous acts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even to that level, you could be like, a certain amount of brainwashing could influence somebody, and they could even experience guilt and remorse for it later on. But it's like, you can't fault the lower level followers for the atrocities that, like, let's just say the leader does. You know what I mean? So it's like, doing this is obviously not because these kids are anti-Scientologists. It's like they would do the same thing to like the Latter-day Saints building. I think
Mormons.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they would do the same thing to like the Catholic Church if people thought the Catholic Church were a bunch of quacks. You know what I mean?
They're all there's different levels of quackery, but it's all the same story.
You don't see them doing it to St. Patrick's Cathedral on Fifth Avenue, but they're going to do it to the Scientology building on, up the block.
You kind of walk in. Can't you just walk in?
Yeah, you can just walk in. But the thing is, this is also another thing too, and I'm going to say this, like, obviously, like, the bigger religions are more protected. You're going to get Jewish synagogues, and you're going to get the Catholic Church, and you're going to get mosques where the cops are going to actually show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cops are going to show up to that and be like, hey, you can't harass people. That's actually like, like it's a hate crime at that point. It's not so much a hate crime, I think, with the Scientologists, because I don't think the cops take them as seriously as they take like churches, mosques, and synagogues. You know what I mean? And Hindu temples and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think it's it's hilarious to watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna click on it anyway. They got me. I clicked on it. You know what I mean? I didn't like it, but I clicked on it and I watched.
It was entertaining. I mean, I'm surprised no one got shot yet, but
that's in due time. I think somebody's gonna get seriously hurt eventually.
We hope for the best, and be careful when you are raiding a church.
Yes, raid churches safely, please. Use all safety precautions.
Churches safely.
All right, dipshits. Another episode in the books. Me and Mike, thank you for fucking watching, and watch our clips and engage, comment, and send us videos if you guys got anything you want us to react to. I'm Ryan. That's Mike. We're the dipshits, and we'll see you dipshits later. Peace out, Mike. Good night.
Peace.